Hi, Mr. Means. It's called one, and we're addressing the issues with standardized testing. Standardized testing, how beneficial is it? What is the purpose behind it? And are we asking the right questions?
Teaching the whole person. Here are some questions we developed in ideation. In case one, we asked our interviewees, are they teaching the whole person? But are they really teaching the whole person, or are they just letting them slide by with these tests?
This brought on, after ideation, we obviously needed more of a background, so we went into the literature, we went into articles and research that people have done before. One of the articles that we found showed us and taught us that one test cannot encompass everything that is expected out of one grade level. So this kind of developed the speculation that this is just another opportunity for the youth and the students to factually masterize things and just memorize things instead of getting a true understanding and be able to draw on that information and apply it later.
The gender, race, and economic status, is this information used beyond stats? The testing requires this information from students, recognizing they're different but not accommodating the differences of qualities such as learning styles and developing ability. And are we putting greater work on a certain type of student? Because these tests are geared to one type of student and inefficiently evaluating others, it leaves some students at a disadvantage.
Also tying into that topic, we talked about the fact that, or we asked the question, why is race or economic status even being asked when these students are taking these standardized tests? Is it necessary, or have standardized tests actually become statistical documents instead of tests to measure the progression of students? And tying into case one, what is a teacher? The convenience of standardized testing is kind of hindering our students and our teachers because they aren't putting the emphasis on individual students so that they don't have to be left behind by the end of the year. And when they do take the test, it's too late to measure the actual progression that they've made throughout the year, if any at all.
With standardized testing comes the question of how are we evaluating this? With the wide use of computers, many students have become proficient and better at writing open-ended questions in a Word document than pencil and paper method. And many schools are overlooking this and not even considering it.
And also with the technological aspect of it, we're using calculators and other technology advances a lot more these days. But at one point, we could actually do these things without calculators. So are they hindering our students and making them artificial thinkers and putting them behind? So how do we measure this if so?
During our Pbl case, what is a teacher? We did a survey between high school and college students about what they thought about standardized testing. And some high school students thought that it was not applicable, while many college students thought that it was beneficial to have open-ended questions.
Is test prep taken away from class time? Is the testable material in sync with classroom expectations? Even though most of the year is test prep, some information can be neglected. In the book, It's Not All Flowers and Sausages by Miss Mimi, she stated, if we spend more time actually teaching in meaningful ways and less time shuffling numbers around, then perhaps our friends would be more adequately prepared, for life and stuff. Oh, and I guess tests.
Another topic that came up while we were trying to decide on what we wanted to do and everything was how are SPIs incorporated into standardized testing. And we also kind of learned about SPIs with our case 2. We went in very deep in making sure everything that we did with our field trip had an SPI to go along with it. And while thinking about this, we're like, are SPIs going along with standardized testing? And we started thinking, it does, but in other ways it doesn't. Like with group work and leadership, you won't find that on standardized testing. But you will find like the social studies part. You'll find some of the stuff in science, the math, and the English. So standardized, and then another part. So how do we change this? Standardized tests take the top-down approach and illustrate students that there is only one right answer. This may or not be true, but if there is only one answer, is there only one approach? Definitely not true. We learn different approaches every day inside the classroom. But for standardized testing, teachers are only teaching us one approach while getting us prepared. Why is that? Why should we take more than one approach to take a standardized test?
So we developed a way to change this. We decided to take a portfolio approach, meaning that you've got one thing that you need to accomplish, but we need to be able to make sure that we have every subject and every need in that category. So therefore, it's our portfolio. We decided that a test with more of a wide range of topics that would sufficiently ask the questions in different ways, so that way students with different developmental abilities would not be left behind. Also, we decided that we needed to ask questions with multiple approaches and multiple answers. So maybe more open-ended questions that require students to critically think and problem solve. Maybe a group question like how we do in our EESC 1010 class. You know, taking it and learning together. And obviously, we really wanted to bring the SPIs more into beyond academics, more into characteristics that are going to better prepare someone for life. Because we kind of collectively found during this whole project that there are a lot of things that we did in standardized testing. Number one, that we can't remember ever using. Number two, that's, you know, obviously we needed at the time, but how are we using it today? And then number three, how did that really prepare us for college and what we're doing right now? And beyond that, our careers as future teachers. So we'd like to take the time to thank you for listening to our presentation. Thank you, and thanks for an awesome semester, and hopefully we'll see you next year.
Who in your class next year?